But I'm going to encourage everybody to pay attention. In April, the state association begins doing a survey along with the national survey. So be watching for that and participate, because that data is used not only by the state association, but also the Penn State uses that data. And with the national survey, we're one of the highest states that participate. So it's really beneficial.
So that goes right into the president's report, Charlie. Do you have anything more to report for us?
Just do the surveys that are coming up. We had an apiary advisory board meeting recently, and we're going to have the status of 7 apiary inspectors are for 2020. They should begin approximately April 5th. So they're going to be on time getting started this year. Steve, are we having a state picnic, but we don't know the date
yet?
Yeah.
We are having a state picnic. It's going to be held at Aaron Fisher's out in McVeigh which has been the site the last several years, except for last year when it was canceled. We do not have a date yet, although I want to say we do, because we just had a meeting, and let me check here real quick. I'm not sure I put it in my calendar. I want to say it would be June 17th, but I'll confirm that and get you guys that information here ASAP.
June or July?
July, sorry, July.
Okay.
Yeah. Steve, want to say anything about the state? I have the dates 6th and 7th. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday this year.
It'll be for the state conference. It'll be at State College, at the Ramada, where we've had it in years past. It'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday this year. So it'll be a Friday evening, information get together, social type of event, depending on where we are with COVID and all that fun stuff. But it'll be kind of an icebreaker on Friday evening, full day Saturday, full day, most of the day Sunday. Speakers to be announced. We're kind of working with that because we had some changes from last year, but look to have a very good conference with vendors and everything else this year for sure. And that's November 5th, 6th, 7th. So Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep. The main session starts on Saturday. So
correct.
Friday is more of an icebreaker, like you mentioned. It's a little bit changed from previous years.
Yeah, and we've gotten that from our results from our conference questionnaires, and people like the idea of a longer conference. They like the idea of being able to come in Friday and spend Saturday, and it gives us more opportunity to have more speakers as well. So, we were growing pretty well there in 2019 with a little over 250 people at the conference, and last year got canceled. So we're hoping to get right back into it this year.
Okay, really good. I know, Charlie, you'll be back on about the field day. Our secretary report, Susan's done a good job. The minutes were posted up on the board if people want to review that. Currently, from the secretary, we have over $5,000 in the treasury. That's after paying Randy, and we did get a few dollars in from the meteorary. Bert, are you still on? Yeah. So Bert's been there was actually a bunch of new members came in from the class. There was a class at Asbury Woods a few weeks ago, and a lot of people joined from that. Charlie, back on for new business, the field trip. What's that looks like on the 19th of June? Is that correct?
Yes, we had a board meeting and discussed some of the field day. So it's on the calendar. So far as I know, we're going to do as much as we can. Some things are still kind of off, uncharted territory this year. Our hope is to have a tour of one of the features is a tour of Ernst. We want to, as far as activities, we want to do like a drone handling and marking things so people can get familiar with just handling bees barehanded. General hive inspection. Like the queens are kind of we want to be able to bring in nukes. I personally took a tremendous loss this year, and I'm hesitant to try to raise a lot of queens for this project because I need to do it for myself. But there's nothing stopping us from bringing nukes in. If you have a nuke that you want to let it requeen itself, there would still be an optimum location to do it, because all my survivor stock and all my good wintered overstock, or most of it's going to be in within a couple of miles of that location, the Ernst farm. And so that's going to produce a good drone pool for your genetics. So even if we can't bring in queens, we're still going to be able to bring in nukes and still make queens of our own. And maybe that's a simpler way to do it for a lot of the smaller beekeepers.
I think in April, we'll probably go over how to do a split, set up a nuke that you could bring in at the April meeting, that for the people who need to know.
So it's still on. We're looking at what we can do, what we can't do. But and if it's an extended day, we're going to ask probably people to bring in a bag lunch of their own, because we're not going to do the food sharing thing. But Ernst is very receptive of having us there, and it's a nice site.
As Priscilla mentioned, which I didn't realize, that it's one of the major U.S. repositories for seeds in the United States. They have 3 or 4 locations, but this is really a big operation, and we're kind of really blessed to have this in our facility. I missed it 4 or 5 years ago when they did the tour, and I hear it was fascinating. So I would encourage people to mark that off right now on their calendar.
Just a note on memberships is that we just backed it off to half the cost of a membership this year at $7.50. So I believe the way we're going to handle that is just going to credit that $7.50. If you've already paid, we'll credit the $7.50 to another year, and rather than sending checks out to everybody.
And if you haven't paid, you could pay at the field trip.
I have some comments on.
I do have a note with from Bert. Bert's back on from his sound is on from membership. So go ahead, Bert.
Many people have asked about were we doing online payments, and we attempted to set up a system for that. Turns out it's a lot more complex than we initially thought, and it's going to take a while. I believe we'll eventually do that, but right now it's conventional payment methods. I put up a announcement on the blog page last week explaining that. I also, by the way, posted on the website a new tab called educational videos or something like that. And it has all of the past Zoom meetings that we've done since Spotted Lanternfly, I guess back in October.
Yes.
It includes, the postings include that, the Varroa presentation, also the Giant Asian Hornet presentation by Sven back, I guess it was in January, and also Randy Oliver's presentation last month. And I intend to post the videos from this meeting that Ken will probably produce whenever that's available. And in terms of numbers of members, right now our membership roster has 355 lines indicating members. Now about 50 of those, well, maybe not quite 50, are duplicate entries for husbands and wives who have asked to have separate memberships listed because, well, not memberships, but separate lines listed because they have different emails or they use different phone numbers. One might use a work phone number or whatever, but they want those records kept separately. So if you look at the about 20 to 25 new members we have since late February, and by the way, again, new memberships might be coming in that I don't even know about yet because Fern hasn't processed them maybe. There's about 315 actual discrete memberships. And then also, speaking of Fern, you know, she's very busy handling the current influx of dues payments for people who are paying. So please do not call her on the phone. If you have an inquiry about whether you owe dues for this year or what your due status is. You know, if you've paid ahead, you want to know how far you're paid ahead or whatever, please just send her an email and she will process that as fast as possible. But she just can't handle all the phone calls and all the emails simultaneously.
Okay.
That's it.
Like I said, we'll have a payment at the field day in June. We'll be collecting any dues or answering questions there also. So that would be good. As you can see, announcements. The next meeting will be in a month. We have Dr. Margareta Lopez. She's speaking on bee genetics. We'll have another panel on swarm prep and actually maybe on prepping a nuke for a split for the field day, and just a basic question and answer period. I'd like to thank Steve from Meadowsweet Apiaries, our president. Cece, you're not a hobbyist. I don't know if you're there or not. You are a sideliner. You have over 10, and she's a great resource. And Charlie, your knowledge is always appreciated. So I'd like to thank everybody before I sign off. Is there any other questions or anything from the group?
Well, thank you, Ken, for moderating and doing a great job as always. Appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Ken.
I think I might be getting hired by maybe by Fox or I don't know, not maybe CNN. I don't know. So anyway, I'll have this. I'll work on this. I'll have it probably posted by Sunday for people who haven't seen it. But again, I thank you all for chiming in. This is the largest group we had, and I hope everybody learned something. I sure did. So. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be warm, and get out there and check the bees. And all of you, behave.